Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive.
Hello.
Today we're plunging into, well, a really fascinating collection of incredibly intriguing events. Frankly, some are just plain weird,
That's a good word for them.
all captured on video,
Hmm.
shared online, and our mission really is to unpack these mysteries, sort of
Sure.
separate the truly baffling from the just unusual.
Right, because there's a difference.
We'll be digging through eyewitness accounts, social media stuff, and even some footage that kind of disappeared from the internet.
Yeah, and what's so compelling about these cases, I think, is how they challenge our normal understanding of things. They make you look closer.
Exactly.
These seemingly separate objects in the sky, weird human behavior, they all tap into something about perception, maybe information itself.
When the ordinary suddenly isn't.
Precisely.
Okay, let's start with this first one. It kicks off with a really captivating piece of footage. Picture this. Tijuana border, Mexico side.
Okay.
Traffic slowing right down. You've got Border Patrol agents, phones up, looking at the sky.
Instead of the border traffic.
Right, why? Because there's what people described as this extremely large grouping or a fleet of UFOs just littering the clouds.
Wow, littering. That's a strong word. So the big question is, what were they actually seeing up there?
Yeah.
The source mentioned they looked kind of random at first right now, but then four of them,
Yes, four lined up perfectly into a rectangle.
a geometric shaped formation. That's the detail that jumps out because, balloons or debris, they just don't do that.
No, they drift. They tumble. They don't form shapes.
Exactly. Not
Yes,
precise
right.
rectangles anyway.
And it gets even more interesting when you look at how this got out there.
Hmm.
It was first posted publicly on Instagram by someone who seemed like, just a regular young girl in Mexico.
Okay, just a normal user.
Yeah, and the caption was something like, UFOs caught over Tijuana. Is it aliens? Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
And it blew up fast, like 30,000 views, hundreds of comments in just hours.
Wow. Okay, so it went viral pretty quickly.
Totally. But then
Let me guess.
it was removed from web. Gone.
Mm.
The original link. Dead. Just the page saying it may be broken or the page may have been removed.
And that's where it gets suspicious, right? Especially, as you said, for a public posting by a normal girl. It wasn't like some official account.
Exactly. The source calls it a big red flag.
Yeah.
Suggests maybe, someone contacted her, told her to take it down.
Or maybe Instagram was pressured somehow.
Could be. It raises questions about, well, who controls what we see online, especially when it's something potentially significant.
That whole fragility of digital evidence thing. It's there one minute, gone the next.
And there's more about the objects themselves. People said they were reflective,
Okay, shiny.
but at one point in the video, you could apparently see a darkened outline of one of these things as it went into the clouds. No reflection.
Ah, interesting. So not just reflecting light, but blocking it too.
Suggesting they were actual solid objects. Not like transparent Chinese lanterns with a candle
Right.
or just light phenomena.
Right. That detail points towards something physical. And tying it all together, the fact that even the Border Patrol agents were distracted.
Yeah, looking up instead of doing their jobs at a busy checkpoint.
It just highlights how anomalous this must have seemed to the people right there on the ground. It really makes you wonder.
Okay, let's shift continents now to Brazil.
Right.
This is another piece of really strange footage sent in by a viewer. He's just watching a regular news broadcast from São Paulo on TV
Okay, pretty standard stuff.
until he spots something totally unexpected. Flying through the sky in the background of the news report, a solid metal orb.
A solid metal orb during a news broadcast.
Yeah. And what's compelling here is the description of the object.
Okay, tell me.
It's called a metallic ball, moving so fast and sideways. And it seemed to, appear from nowhere, almost like from a wormhole, as the source put it.
Whoa, okay. From a wormhole is quite a description. Fast and sideways.
And the viewer sent in two different high-res shots. He called it one of the more clear UFO sightings, because you could actually see details, see the light reflecting off it.
So you could tell it was metallic and definitely not, attached to anything.
Exactly. Clearly metallic, and it's not connected to anything. That kind of movement, fast, sideways, appearing, suddenly it really challenges, our standard explanations for things in the sky.
Absolutely. Aircraft don't typically move like that, appearing out of thin air. If it is a physical object, that implies some kind of propulsion we don't understand.
And then there's the reaction, or maybe the lack of reaction from the news crew.
Ah, the cameraman filming the broadcast.
Yeah. The source points out that it almost looks as if the cameraman pans away, or maybe the shot is just cut very quickly, right when the object shows up.
So blink and you miss it.
Pretty much. It happened so fast, the viewer watching TV almost didn't catch it.
Interesting. So the professional cameraman either didn't see it or reacted by moving away almost instinctively, coupled with the viewer who presumably knows Sampala.
Right, the source says he would know the area.
And he found it completely out of place. It just adds another layer of mystery to this fast-moving metal ball.
It really does. Makes you wonder how often things like this might happen, just too quick to register or capture properly.
It's a good point, especially for trained observers like camera operators. Maybe the unexpectedness is just overwhelming for a second.
Okay, finally, let's bring it closer to home. Still bizarre, though. This involves a Secret Service agent.
Okay, during a presidential inauguration.
Yeah. The focus is on one particular agent, protecting the president. His whole look, his behavior, it just sparked this huge online discussion.
Right. I think I remember some buzz about this. What were people noticing?
Well, the consistent thing across basically every piece of video footage is this agent has a sort of blank stare. People called it eerie.
Okay. A bit unnerving, maybe. But security guys are trained to be stoic, right?
True, but it gets weirder. There's this viral video where people are pointing out that he looked to be holding what at least appears to be a fake arm and a fake hand.
A fake arm. Okay, now that's unusual. How so?
Well, several things feed into this theory. First, his overcoat is much bulkier than the coats on the other agents nearby.
All right, could be layers, could be body armor.
Maybe. But also, throughout the whole long inauguration event, he apparently does not let go of his hand. He's holding it really strangely, like gripping the pinky of what looks like his other hand.
And it just stays there, fixed.
Yeah. Doesn't let it dangle, doesn't adjust, doesn't scratch his nose, nothing. Just locked in that one position.
Okay, that is odd. Holding your own hand rigidly like that for hours. So what are the theories?
Well, as the source says, conspiracy theories are running rampant. You get the extreme stuff, like he's an alien or a robot.
Of course. The internet wouldn't be the internet without those.
Right. But then there's a more, let's say, grounded theory, though still pretty unsettling, that the fake arm is actually concealing a machine gun with his real arm underneath the bulky coat, ready to go.
Whoa. Okay. As a security measure.
Potentially. Given the context, high-profile event, history of assassinations, it's proposed as a possibility for enhanced readiness.
It's a wild thought, but I suppose in high-security situations, unconventional tactics might be considered. Does the source mention who floated that idea?
It mentions that military people supposedly commented, saying it would seem like a fake arm to conceal a machine gun. There's even debate online about tiny details, like whether his thumb moves on the supposed fake hand, or if it could have, like, electronics inside to make it look more real.
The level of scrutiny is incredible, people analyzing thumb twitches.
Yeah. But beyond just the arm theory, the source also points out the general oddity of his face and the way he walks. Just different from the other agents who looked, well, normal.
So it's not just one thing, it's a combination of small, consistently unusual details.
Exactly. And that's what fuels the speculation. It's a fascinating example of how, small anomalies in a high-stakes setting can just explode when people start watching closely.
It really is. It shows our tendency to look for patterns, maybe even elaborate explanations when something just feels off. Even if a simpler explanation exists, the unusualness itself becomes the story.
So we've gone from these inexplicable fleets over Tijuana that vanish from the web to a super fast metallic orb caught fleetingly on a news broadcast in Brazil. And finally, this bafflingly odd security agent at a major public event. These deep dives, they really show how much can happen that just defies an easy, quick explanation.
Absolutely. What really stood out to you across these different accounts?
For me, it's often the reaction or the aftermath. The Tijuana video disappearing, the cameraman panning away, the intense scrutiny of the agent. It's how the unusual event ripples outwards.
That's a great point, and it brings up that key question. How do we process information that really challenges our assumptions? Especially when, like you said, the evidence itself is fragile, it disappears, or it's just a momentary glimpse.
Yeah.
It's a good reminder, I think, to consider not just what we're seeing directly, but what might be just under the surface, or what might have been removed before we even got a chance to see it.
So thinking about this for you, the listener, Consider how these details, sometimes really small details, can build up.
Hmm.
They create these compelling narratives that grab our curiosity and honestly challenge how we think the world works.
It's a reminder that maybe the biggest mysteries aren't always these huge dramatic events, but sometimes they're hidden in those small inconsistencies, the little anomalies that hint at something more.
Something just beyond our everyday view. Which leads us to our final provocative thought. In a world absolutely saturated with cameras, with visual information everywhere, how much do we really observe? And what might be happening just off screen, just beyond the edge of our perception, or maybe in those split seconds right before a camera quickly pans away?